Hello and welcome back to Emerge. And of course, I am your girl, Ulo, your delightful host. I am not alone. I have been joined by the beautiful, sensational actor and author, Christine. And some of you might love her as Chipego Mpali.
Yes, definitely.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here. My enemy is like, okay, you just got to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for honoring the invitation and just taking the time. We love things on Emerge and you look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Would you like to run us through your outfit?
Babes, this was a what? Okay, so my shoes are by Girl Boss Couture. Girl Boss Couture. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
and then
got
my
to say
outfit is by Kavod Revolution. Yeah.
Kavod is your business.
It is not my business.
Really?
Kavod is not my business. My business is called Kazon.
Ah.
Yeah, so Kavod is a store that dresses me.
Okay. You know what? Actually, when I saw Kazan and I saw
Kavod.
Kavod, I was wondering, are they sister companies? Did she just decide to separate them? Are you doing brand ambassador work for Kavod then?
Yes, I am an ambassador for Kavod.
Ah, okay. Nice. Seen the girl getting the gigs.
Yes,
Let's
please.
go.
Authenticity to life.
Absolutely. So I came across a post of you.
Okay.
Well, you had shared a post where you...
Was that on my Facebook?
Yes, on your Facebook, where Dwayne, the actor, the American actor, the buff guy.
Oh, yes. Dwayne Johnson.
Yes, where he,
appreciated this guy, the athlete, the boxer guy.
And something in your caption just caught my attention. You said, I watched this video 3 times.
Yes.
Why did you watch that?
I think I watched it 7 times.
Really?
Yes.
Why did you watch that video that many times?
I even want to shed tears now. I feel like people don't understand that a little goes a long way. You don't need to have so much to just show someone that they can do something for themselves, or they can be what they want to be, or do the things that they would love to do. So when I saw that gesture that I think he's doing these things on a regular of helping people. And really for me, it just reminded me of the time when I was in need and somebody did come to my aid. For me, that video was like a life-changing experience altogether. Like, it just gave me all these memories when I once needed help from someone and it seemed like nobody could see that I needed the help, So it was just one of those videos that just reminds you that in life, God will send people to actually be your saviors. So yeah.
It's interesting because, beyond a reasonable doubt, you come off as somebody that looks out for the next person. And obviously with initiatives like Virtuous Women Africa, I just want to know what prompts such initiatives, really from what place do such initiatives
honestly,
come from?
Sitting down here today and really having to discuss Virtuous Women Africa, I never foresaw. Like, it's not something I even planned that I would one day sit and actually talk about how I birthed it or how it all started, right? So initially, I was raised by a single mom. And I came from a very violent home where my dad was very violent.
Really?
And it just gave me a reason to do something for women, especially, initially it was just for women. My vision was to have a safe space for women to speak out, a space to learn, and a space to heal. So that was what actually prompted me to, and for the beginning part of it, it was pretty much a prayer group where we would just pray and encourage each other. So from that was for me, God heals. So I knew that if God is at the center of everything that I do, I'll get the healing because he is a God that heals. So I thought prayer should be first. That's why I said Virtuous Women Africa should be a place where people come to find comfort and healing, total healing, was through the word. So I just had to draw women closer to their maker so they can realize who they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that it has actually, healed you from the trauma? Just the initiative itself.
It has, because I came across so many women that were coming from abusive marriages, women who've been like married for years, and this is just a baby movement, and it's changing lives for elderly people. So for me, that was like comfort that kept me actually going. And now we're a brand, and everybody wants to be a part of it. And for the most part, I feel people don't really understand what it's about, because we all fancy, and people think it's just an initiative where you just go and look pretty, but it's beyond that. So when they do come and be a part of it, they realize that it's not all about social media. These are real life experiences from people, real people, and yeah.
What are the requirements for being a part of such a great initiative?
We just have to be above 13. So we have 3 kinds of groups. We have the teens, the youths, and the elderly. So we do have activities for every stage, because I believe as a founder that your foundation is what determines what you become. So I know that when I train
that's profound. Could you say that again? Could you say that again?
I just missed that. What did I say?
Your foundation determines what you become.
Yes, exactly. So I thought, okay, I just shouldn't limit it to maybe youth or elderly people in my age group, maybe my early 20s. I know that when we start grooming these ladies to stand up for themselves, to speak out for themselves, to just be independent, or help them realize that their purpose, preemptively, they can be able to make better decisions. So I thought, let's start from an early age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, dealing with women alone, especially women from different areas and experiences, we're talking abuse in different forms.
Yeah.
Can be a little difficult. Also, it's obviously the women that you are assisting.
Yeah.
But there is people like myself, industry friends that might jump on the project and want to collaborate and network and see the good cause get carried away. However, the industry or a business in that nature does have its evil side.
Yeah.
Where a place that's meant to be a safe space turns into a gossip side.
Yes.
Or people have their own intentions now because they're seeing opportunities to leverage, maybe financially. How do you ensure that you protect that space? And could you mention maybe 3 things you personally do for yourself to stay protected?
First of all, I would say everybody I come across, I think I have this sense of discernment, like from a distance. Trust me, I'm a woman of the word. If I am not working or, networking with my workers, because I do have workers. I have a business. Yeah. So if I'm not at my business, I'm not at my work, I'm at home. And when I'm at home, I am studying. And I'm studying for God to give me wisdom. I'm studying for God to guide me, to guide his people. So I think the wisdom that I carry or I possess, I think one thing that I have kept to myself is I don't really have friends. I have colleagues. I have
quite old because you literally spread out and try to be a part of initiatives.
It's one thing to have a friend, and it's one thing to just have someone Hear you. Yes. So I think staying away from people hearsays has really helped my movement stay sane. I'd have people coming and telling me, oh, this lady's part of your group, she's only joining because she wants to see what you're doing, because she's planning to do something like that. So I'm like,
no way.
I'm like, that is okay, because if she's really coming here to learn and she thinks she's stealing from me, she's actually missing out. Because if you want to learn, you ask. First of all, I'm the vision carrier, so I know how far I have planned for this movement. You can copy, but you cannot run the vision without knowing where you're going. So you can only learn so much from someone that you want to copy from. And when you copy something, it can't last. Like replication does not last.
Stop it. I like it.
No, because when you start something, this thing has been in existence for the past 10 years.
the virtuous women?
I founded it in 2012. I was in grade 11.
Ooh.
And like I'm saying, it just didn't happen overnight. And if you asked me then, sitting here and talking about it is a miracle because I never imagined. It's only now that it's getting recognition. Mind you, we have other movements like the one that I have. And they've gone ahead of me, and I'm so happy that I can learn from people that have gone ahead of me. The likes of Wow Woman, I can call Mutale if I needed help. The likes of Lady Norena, I would call her if I ever needed help, you know. So you get to learn from people that have gone ahead of you. So it's not about fighting the people in your same social circles. You learn because we'll meet one day at something that we all agree on because we're all dealing with women, you know. So it gets toxic, but I think for me, what has kept me sane is really just praying for wisdom to handle situations that actually do come.
That was the first thing.
Yeah.
I still want to hear the two other things you put in place.
I feel like
I'm like, listen, my coffee is great, but what you are saying, girl.
So asking for wisdom, and the second one was I don't make friends. Because when you do have so many friends, they will bring confusion. Like they'll just derive you from your journey. It's like when I'll give an example, right? I put on a GPS, I'm going to Eastpark. And then along the way, I decided to take the Olympia route and I'm going this direction. The GPS will not say you are lost. It will give me options to redirect myself to the final destination. So it will take me through Katamamlilo Road, through Zambezi until I get to here. So there's things in life that will come in form of distractions that will make you maybe go off-road. But when you do have a vision and God is guiding you, even if it's friends that might want you to detour, you'd always find your way back.
Friends are a blessing too.
Friends
Christian.
are a blessing, but I've had my own share of friendships.
Happened.
Keeping my peace, Ulo has. Yeah. I think I'm a very social person. Like I said, I'm very social. I think everybody that has actually had an encounter with me, I don't care if I know you, I don't know you. I'll still give you a smile, give a total stranger on the street. And that's from your first question. When I saw that video of Dwayne Johnson, something in me moved because I literally saw myself. Like if I had much, I would do so much for people. Not because I want something in return, no. But because that's what I love to do. I think I'm an instrument that God wants to use to just change other people's lives.
I hear you, and obviously I will bet to disagree slightly with the aspect of, friends being some sort of a distraction, because also I have learned quite recently that maybe I am not setting the boundaries. Maybe I need to work on myself and do some inner introspection, so that when people come around me, I am already sure of who I am, and it reflects, from inward to the outward.
I think that's the space I'm in right now, so I can't really say much about friendships and stuff because I'm at a place where I just withdrew myself, and I told my friends that I think I need time to learn myself and learn what I want, because for the most part I think it's a boundary issue. Like if you're my friend, how far can you go? Like what are the do's and don'ts? And for me, when I'm your friend, Ulo, I wouldn't do something to hurt you. Absolutely. So I had that free will around my friends, and people have different upbringings. So they'll do something and then you're like, okay, you forgive them. They do something, okay, you forgive them. And in the end, you're injuring yourself at their expense, And then in the process, you end up realizing that, okay, I think I'm more hurt from this friendship and it's toxic. So I'm in a space where I'm trying to discover myself and thinking, okay, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to set things, in place. But also it becomes difficult because as a leader, you can't not have advisors. You cannot not have people you go to. Because trust me, there are times when it's so overwhelming that you just want to go to sleep crying. Ish.
Literally,
you cry yourself to sleep because first of
all,
you have no friends you can vent to.
Yeah.
Then in that space, then you start resorting to, thinking maybe people don't love me or they're fighting me when you're actually fighting yourself. So yeah, I do know that friends are important, but you need to have the right friends. Like your circle should be uplifting, not depressing.
Wow. So now, talking about just networks and building up on the very, relationships in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be limited to friendships. I've seen that now, especially in the in the Gen Z era, the social media era, women have sort of tilted the dynamics compared to the olden days where women were catty and were not supporting each other and were in competition, to networking. You just mentioned the WOW women. Mainza Kawanu's recently.
The high tea. Urban evangelist.
And I see women coming together.
Yeah.
I am curious to know, though, because I have my own views about networking and movements. However, I would like to know what your thought is. Do you think these movements, yours inclusive, are really meant for empowerment, or they are a business?
Honestly, if you look at the way these things are emerging, right? Like I mentioned, it's something I started not realizing how big it can grow. So personally, I feel these women who are having these movements are really out there to help people and change lives.
And I would tell you, this question comes from, because on eMerge, it's not about my thoughts only. No. It comes from, obviously, your followers, our followers.
I do get such comments, like, no, it's a money-making venture. I remember I had an event. We always have, like, annual events, right? And mind you, this organization, this initiative was birthed by me. So every financial aspect of it comes from my pocket. So I was like, it's really draining because you'd end up spending above your budget. So I said, okay, what's a better way of actually assisting myself financially as well? Because I can't just invest and not actually, imagine I pay for an event tomorrow and then the other day I don't have money for my personal rent. So it was like, it wasn't making sense. So what did I do? I did reach out to companies and whatnot. Things happened, didn't work out. So I was like, okay, this is really getting out of hand and I really want to do this. So we have merchandise that we sell. We have t-shirts, we have capes, we have phone stickers, and I actually authored a book. So every time we have an event, I make sure we have that merchant available for sale. So if a shirt is going for $250, I know that if we're going to have an event at Government Complex or whatever venue it is, I am going to maybe keep a $150 for the venue. Obviously, there's decor involved. You need to look glamorous, obviously. It's women. Women are like flowers. They definitely have to look nice all the time. So whenever I have events, I would do that thing of, okay, t-shirt is $250, $150 is going towards events place or decor, whatever, logistics. 100 kwacha goes to our coffers, and the coffers keep money for events that we do, philanthropy work we do every month. So every month we visit an orphanage or people on the streets, and we buy food for them. We just support them. That's a way of us giving back. So imagine, even not for us to go begging out there, we'd rather create our own revenue of the things we want to do. Yeah,
I absolutely like that. It's this one is very personal.
Okay.
This is why I just dwelt on it just a little bit. Just to get, to suck it out.
Okay, also, another thing is, when an organization is growing, there's people that work behind the scenes. Absolutely. They're running up and downs. So if we do get funding, definitely you need to consider those people because they leave their families. It's voluntary work, yes, but they have to move from their homes to the venues to do these other things. So if we do have a sponsor that's on board, let's say, for instance, we have so many cars available now, car for hire, wada. So imagine a company approaches and said, okay, we want to be part of your organization and we do this. So can you create an ad for us on your platform? And then in exchange, we can drive your stuff around. It's a good deal because obviously that will be cutting off our expenditure. So it actually does help. Not that we are pocketing money, no.
I like that.
Well, it depends with the cause of the movement, but so far I think the ones I've seen, they're really doing the most for humanity.
I love that, and I absolutely see that for your movement. And what's next for it? What's next for Virtuous?
So remember I told you we're operating under my company, which is Kazon.
Yes.
As just something we do for charity. So now we actually registered as an initiative, and we'll be pretty much venturing into skills training for women.
Apart from, the movement that you are absolutely passionate about.
My baby.
You are a genius in your role.
I am?
Of course you are. Girl, stop sitting across there trying to act like you don't know the work
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just share a little bit on the aspect of your acting, what led to it, and how that is just going.
Very, very funny. Yeah. So initially, I've always had passion for TV. Like, I was this kid growing up, I'd, rehearse in the mirror, watched lots of Nigerian movies growing up, and your Filipino movies. So I'd always tell myself, I can act. I think I want to be on TV. So I remember when I was in grade 8, I wrote an article, and there was this organization that actually picked my story. It was called Media Network on Child Rights and Development. Okay. And I read a story that touched their sort of project. So they invited me over, and I remember through that organization, I was able to be on TV. So I had my first gig at ZNBC 2008.
You did?
Yes, and I was on Kids TV.
Interesting.
So I did Kids TV, and then from there, I did Z Kids News on Movie TV.
Is that where you met Brian? I saw Brian a very funny photo of you and him.
Brian and I met through the same organization, Media Network. I met him there, then we were together at NBC. We even did Hot Kids and Teens on Hot FM.
Okay.
And it was quite interesting because it just gave me the space to be on TV and do the things that I loved. So high school came, I was a bit laissez-faire about it. Relocated, came back. It wasn't the same again. I didn't think I'd want to pursue media studies or anything like that, which I'm not currently. But it just gave me, when I came out, I was so much into business, my mind was just changed. And I joined the industry because of my business. Really? I was thinking, if I am relevant,
I like that because everybody
sell,
says, "Oh, I'm so passionate about it."
No,
and
I
it's
wasn't.
Okay. Passion is
it wasn't
enough.
Something I didn't even imagine. Because even when I did go for my audition, I was like to them, "I've never acted, and like, how do I audition?" I was asking the people who were judging the audition, like, "What do I do now? What am I supposed to do?" So I tried my luck, and it worked to my favor, and here we are. I didn't even expect to get a bigger role or a supporting. I was just thinking I'll be an extra. I was fine with being an extra. Literally going there, my mindset was like, I'm going to be an extra. One episode, people will see me. I'll capitalize on that. I will post and tag Mpali. And because it had a bigger platform. So I was like, okay. Yeah. And I didn't really know what the story was about. So I was just going there because it was a happening thing. And when God wants to position you for something, he'll use the dumbest of things. You think, this is just trash.
Oh, wow.
And he'll just turn everything around. And now I'm here. I'm like, I'm Chipego Mpali.
You are Chipego.
People don't even know my name. I'm Christine, guys. Literally. Everyone calls me. Even my parents call me. My mom calls me Chipego.
Oh,
my relatives call me Chipego. So I've just officially adopted the name because, wow.
This looks like you and I need a part 2 because obviously we want you to
There's
come
so much
back.
to unpack, so
I
we
know.
keep it coming.
But thank you so much for
Thank
making
you for
time
having
to
me.
just have this chat. I've been absolutely inspired.
Thank you.
And I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Both with the movement and your media career, obviously.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining today's conversation. Please do share in the comment section which part of today's conversation did stand out for you. And remember what I always say. If there is anything that you want to do, if it stands right and serves purpose, then go do it.